Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Smyers. I'm a practicing country realtor in the central part of Virginia in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley behind me, and I live near Waynesboro. And today I want to talk a little bit about the price and the value and the number that comes out at a property because this is the big deal. It's a big thing pricing in this industry. What makes a property have extra value? What is considered an undervalued property? Now, us real estate agents get into that all the time. We have to decide for the customer. We represent the seller, and our objective is to make as much profit for the seller as possible. Now, there are cases where the seller is so eager to sell, if we're listing the property, the seller isn't so concerned about getting a couple extra $1,000. Maybe there's some emergency in the family. They got a great job, they double their salary. They want to get the heck out of there and move. And from their point of view, their top dollar is make it fast and easy so I'm out of here, okay? So there are certain variables in the idea of pricing and what will sell for it. There are also properties where they just are located in such an area and such demand that you'll find orders of people who will put a deposit on and they'll make a commitment to buy something for 20% over the asking price. So, what actually makes value in a property, and how do you find something that's undervalued? There are people who just scour the internet constantly trying to find out where can I buy the undervalued property, fix it up, sell for a profit. There are costs involved in flipping a property, a lot of costs, and a lot of insecurities because the market could change by the time you fix up a property. So the idea of like finding a low ball property, okay, people who are professional restorers and so on, they often go to auctions because they really need to get the property at the bottom line price because they know they're going to have a lot of costs going in. So as a consumer, as a person who's buying, and I represent a lot of buyers, I'm a buyer agent a lot of times, and they're scouting here in Virginia, and I go around and look for property to have a certain value. Now, a lot of times the value, you see it on Zillow and Realtor.com, they'll have some kind of suggested value. Homes in your neighborhood are priced at $279.99 or whatever. It was ridiculous because you can't really say what that price is going to be. There's a certain trend, but that's only a certain time. The market changes, the interest rates changes, everything changes, and you can't really go by that price. And besides, if you have a property that has some really special features that really aren't traditional, then you need an agent on your side who's going to say, look, my client's home isn't just a traditional. It's got this XYZ factor here, maybe a wraparound porch or a big huge shed or whatever, and you have to see what the particulars of the property are. And it's a big challenge for us real estate because we have to try to figure out, we get paid. If we get the best deal for our client, they are happy, we're happy, everybody's happy. Then the buyer side is a little different because the buyer side, let me make a deal. I got to find a cheapo property, okay? So what I'm really going to refer to here is what value do you bring to your own property? If you decide to spend a lot of money and buy something and that's your asset, that's your big investment, what are you going to bring to it? Because the flipping thing is, okay, let's say you get a flip, okay, an ideal flip and everything's good, you get the real value, you get all the costs are under management and everything, and you flip a property. It might take you a couple of months. But what about buying your own property and upgrading it yourself and bringing your own value? For example, you can flip a property and just, standard paint, it's going to be rental, throw some white paint on the wall, do the minimum, basically like absolute minimum restoration or whatever. Or you can go in with a different idea, say, man, I'm going to make this charming old home incredibly sweet. And I'm going to live there for a while and enjoy it. And while I'm living there, I'm going to make that home, I'm going to bring my own value. I'm going to bring my great design ideas, my creativity. I'm going to landscape the place. And I'm going to live in my home. And when I finally do sell it, it's going to be worth a lot more because of what I put into it. But I'm coming with my own value. I don't have to depend on the equity market. If you keep a home the same way, exactly the same, don't upgrade anything. Maybe you paint to freshen up the walls and everything, and then you wait for the equity build up after 10 years. Well, you'll get something probably. But if you come in there with your own values, maybe you make the place absolutely stunning. You add a deck, or you add some feature, or a wraparound porch, or something. Something really nice that you put there on that property. Then when you go to sell it, you benefit from the whole time you live there, but you're not just getting the normal kind of equity in a property that just accumulates because of the trend. So what I'm trying to emphasize is that when people buy a home or any kind of property, especially if you have a multiple structure type of property out in the rural area where there's a lot going on, and you can actually beautify a property in a really amazing way. Bring gardens, fresh flowers. In my case, I bring in some fruit trees that never were here before. I had kind of an open slate here, some nice buildings and everything, but it wasn't very landscaped because it used to be a pig farm long years ago. So what I brought here is a little pond thing, just a small one, and a decorative area, and some beautiful sunflowers, and beautify the whole place, and just make it super attractive. Do some freshening up on certain parts of the household, but basically it's in pretty good shape. And just keep it maintained. And over the years that I'm going to live here, I'm going to make it just more and more beautiful and just more and more special. And I'm going to enjoy the benefits of my own actions here. But I'm not going to count on just the ordinary equity, just paint some walls and do the minimum and then hope that you'll sell for 30% more in 20 years or whatever. But maybe you can double your money in 10 years or even sooner if you just bring your own creativity. So I want to make these videos short, but I had to interrupt this one because I had interruption, and now this is the second part. But I want to finish by saying I watch a lot of video content of other people's, and I would like to share a lot of them. There's some really great information out there. I'm not the only person out there by any means. I have my own unique perception about the rural life. I've traveled a lot. I've lived in rural areas in Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, and here in Virginia. And it's just a really beautiful lifestyle. I've done all kinds of stuff. I've traveled to big cities, including Bangkok and New Delhi and London and all that. But that's my private life here. I enjoy this beautiful, beautiful area in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. And you really can't go wrong getting in this area. So thanks for listening. I appreciate if you like and share, give me a few comments, and I hope to see you in some of my other content and watch my playlist. So thanks again.